I was this close from skipping videos today. But I gotta talk about this. This is gonna affect you. It's gonna affect us here in Canada. It's gonna affect your day-to-day. This isn't high-level stuff. This is gonna affect you on the ground, at the ground level. First up, the Civil War is still happening in the States. People still want to talk about that AI video from Wednesday night. And yeah, I'm telling you, it was an AI video. And I'm gonna explain why it's important, even if it wasn't an AI video. And I'm gonna kick it off with a horrible suggestion from Donald Trump. Surprise, surprise. Trump calls on NATO countries to stop buying Russian oil, threatens 50% to 100% tariffs on China, as if he hasn't caused enough damage already. Let's be clear about something. Russia pumps out about 10 million barrels of oil per day. That's how the global market works. Trying to stop that, trying to remove X amount of barrels of oil per day from the global market, that's a terrible idea. Let's just say, for example, for argument, that they could remove all 10 million barrels of oil per day from the global market. No one buys Russian oil anymore. Your gasoline prices would double. The price of everything would go up 50%, maybe double. How does that sound to you? Does that sound like a good idea? Do you like that idea? He could have just arrested Putin. He could still just arrest Putin. Just invite him over again. Oh, that would kick off World War III! World War III is kicking off anyway because he's loose. He's free to do whatever he wants with no repercussions because nobody does anything. This dude wants to go into the history books as a great president? Arrest Vladimir Putin. Start there. All right, despite the right wing proving that they are yet again the source of all the violence in the world, the Civil War is still on. Donald Trump has gone on Fox and Friends to say that the problem with these right-wing lunatics is the left-wing lunatics. Let me explain something. There's a thing called loss aversion. It's a very powerful force in the human mind, okay? It's when you want to resist losing something. When a negative idea, the thought of loss, is introduced to your head, it stays there for a long time. And I'll use the auto industry as an example, all right? In the 70s and the 80s, the auto industry made some terrible cars. That's why the Japanese took hold, because they were making good cars when everybody else was making crap. Especially the English. British Leyland cars were terrible. That's not true anymore, eh? Like, British cars now are really good, but it doesn't matter. The imprint is there. The going belief is there. Jaguar is a perfect example. Jaguar used to make terrible cars. Now they make fantastic cars. Almost bulletproof cars. People still think they're terrible. The same thing's going to happen here. It doesn't matter what the truth is, because the going belief is this constant push that the problem is the left-wing lunatic. Proof means nothing. So the Civil War is just kind of delayed for a little bit as they try and figure out how we keep this ball rolling. And now instead of, taking out Chicago, they're going to go to Memphis, where they should have gone in the first place. But what's the story with Memphis? Oh, they have a Democrat as a mayor. That's the problem. Memphis would be fine. It'd be a safe haven if it weren't for the left-wing lunatic. The Civil War is still on, and facts don't matter. And now that you understand that facts don't matter, let's come back to this video, okay? Let's just for a second, just forget whether it was or was not AI. Follow me down this road of hypotheticals. First up, I'm going to remind you my second video from yesterday. Albania has appointed the world's first AI-generated minister to avoid corruption. Minister of Public Procurement. Yep, that's AI-generated person. So we are right now, right now, in the era of AI-generated politicians. There you go. If you go to Donald Trump's Truth Social, it is filled with AI-generated images. This is a real poster, but that's an AI-generated image. The Trump camp loves AI-generated stuff. And now we come to this. Was it or was it not? Well, let's look at the reality for a moment. MAGA is a cult of personality, his personality. They are trying to do something, and he's not in good health. If he kicks it at the wrong time, the whole thing could fall apart. And they don't want that. So you're telling me the group that loves AI-generated content won't generate more AI content? Of course they will. He'll merely stop doing public appearances because, he'll be incapable of public appearances. Everything will be an address from the Oval Office, just like this. They'll keep the lie going as long as they can. By the time people catch on, it'll be too late. Plausible deniability. They're going to blame it all on a fake president. Like I said, stock up on popcorn. It's just getting started.